안녕하세요. In this video, we are going to learn noun modifying form for verbs in past tense. So far, we learned two noun modifying forms. Let's take a look at number one sentence. Mia met a person who was really kind. How do you say this in Korean? 미아는 정말 친절한 사람을 만났어요. This is for adjectives in the noun modifying form. Sentence number 2. Mia met a person who learns Korean language. 미아는 한국어를 배우는 사람을 만났어요. This is for noun modifying verbs in present tense. If you had trouble translating these two sentences, don't worry, there is a review section at the end of this video, and that should help you. Now, how would you translate this sentence? Mia met a person who learned Korean language. Now, this is noun modifying form for verb in the past tense. The conjugation for verbs in the past tense for the noun modifying form is 은. So if you translate the sentence, 미아는 한국어를 배운 사람을 만났어요. One more example. The food that Mia ate yesterday was tasty. How do you say this in Korean? 미아가 어제 먹은 음식은 맛있었어요. Now, let's go over all the conjugations that we learned so far. For adjectives, it's 은. Verbs in present is 는. Verbs in past tense is 은. Notice that we are using the same conjugation for adjective in the present tense and for verbs in the past tense. I'm gonna add one more conjugations, which is for verbs for prospective or future tense, which is 을. This conjugation is not introduced in this chapter, but I decided to include it in this video because I think it's better to learn them all together at this point. And regarding noun modifying forms in Korean, I said modifying elements must precede the noun that it modifies. Okay, remember this part because this is important. Now we're gonna do some translations, but before moving to the translation section, I need you to know these conjugations really well. Again, adjectives is 은, verb present, 는, verb past, which is the same as adjective present tense, is 은, and verbs prospective is 을. Now let's do some translations. The car that Mia bought is expensive. Now I'm gonna give you a little trick. If you are having trouble translating the whole sentence in one step, you can take the following approach. First, you need to translate the sentence without the modifying element. In this case, it's Mia bought, which is in green color. So if you translate the sentence without the modifying element, it is 차가 비싸요, right? The car is expensive. Now, you're gonna add the modifying elements before the noun. Then, the sentence becomes 미아가 산 차가 비싸요. And for sentence number 1, there's another way to translate the sentence, which is 미아는 비싼 차를 샀어요. However, this sentence has a different sentence structure. Okay, let's move on to number 2. This is the gift that I received from Mia. What is the modifying part in this sentence? It is I received from Mia. So you're going to translate the sentence without that modifying element. So it becomes 이게 선물이에요. Then you're gonna put the modifying element before the noun it modifies. Then the sentence becomes 이게 미아한테서 받은 선물이에요. And as you can see in these examples, the conjugations for verb in past tense is 은. Okay, moving on to number 3. The car that Mia is going to buy is Tesla. How would you say this in Korean? This will be 미아가 살 차는 테슬라예요. Number 4. This is the book that I will read tomorrow. This will be 이게 내일 읽을 책이에요. So in number 3 and number 4, this is for verb prospective noun modifying form. And conjugation that I use is 을. Okay, let's do number 5, 6, and 7. Mia likes cold weather. 미아는 추운 날씨를 좋아해요. To be cold is an adjective. However, the dictionary form is 춥다. So this is a 비읍 irregular conjugation. Okay. Next sentence. Mia likes interesting movies. 미아는 재미있는 영화를 좋아해요. Again, this is another irregular conjugation. 재미있다, to be interesting, is an adjective. So it's supposed to be using 은. However, 있다, 없다 is a kind of special, so it takes an irregular form. That's why it becomes 재미있는. Okay, 7번, number 7. Who is that person exercising over there? How would you say this in Korean? 저기에서 운동하고 있는 사람이 누구예요? I use the progressive form, right? 운동하고 있는. You may also say 운동하는. That will be fine too. 8번. The person who's wearing a hat is my mother. How would you say this in Korean? This will be 모자를 쓰고 있는 사람은 제 어머니예요. The modifying element is wearing a hat. So you will say 모자를 쓰고 있는 before the noun, which is 사람은 제 어머니예요. You can also say 모자를 쓴 사람은 제 어머니예요. In this sentence, I use the conjugation for verb past tense, right? Because technically, my mother is done wearing a hat, right? She already wore the hat. That's why you need to use the past tense. If you say 모자를 쓰는 사람은, that sounds like she's actually putting her hat on at the moment. So you need to either use 모자를 쓴 사람은 or 모자를 쓰고 있는 사람은. 9번. Mia likes a person who's tall and kind. 미아는 키가 크고 친절한 사람을 좋아해요. Please notice that the noun modifying conjugation is only used once here. 친절한, which is the second adjective. For the first adjective, you just need to use the dictionary form, then add 고. Again, you need to say 미아는 크고 친절한 사람을 좋아해요. You should not say 미아는 키가 큰 친절한 사람을 좋아해요. You need to use the noun modifying form conjugation only once. 10번, number 10. It is Mia who went to the library. This will be 도서관에 간 사람은 미아예요. Okay, that's it for this video. 예, 수고했어요. 다음 시간에 봐요.